What up, Jadu? How you doing, big dog? How's my mic, by the way? I feel like it's been a while since I've reset it, so I'm kind of worried it's got like that weird, like tinny, robot-y sound. Maybe not though. I think it's probably fine. It's probably fine. Let me know if it sounds like shit so I can tweak some stuff. Let me also run some ads while we're here. Get them out of the way. It's a little tinny, but if you hadn't mentioned it, I wouldn't have been bothered by it. Okay, let me restart it then. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, can you hear me now, Jadu? Is my mic picking up now? I think it should be good now. Yo, how goes Mythically Malaki? Over on YouTube, we got Mal Populare. You should totally drop piddles from Hoops and Yo-Yo, but in a swimsuit. I don't do art requests, unfortunately. Unfortunately, and I have no idea what that is. But somehow my instinct tells me it's a character that probably should not be in a swimsuit. That's just my guess. Hoops and Yo-Yo, Piddles from Hoops and Yo-Yo, wild. Yeah, it's better. Hell yeah. All right, word. Yo, how's it goes? Also, I need help. All right, what do you need help with, dude? What do you need help with? I'm like I kind of want to duplicate this folder because part of me wants to flatten all the colors and just sort of you know, see if I can tweak it and get some other colors going. Message retracted. I didn't even know you could do that. There's so much I don't know about YouTube chat, guys. I don't know. I feel like YouTube's been leveling up their game where they're starting to get like emotes and all kinds of crazy shit that you just couldn't do before. So yeah, it's interesting to see what you can do on YouTube now. Jadu, did you post anything in the critiques channel? Is that what you need help with? I was trying to move my mouse on my monitor. I was like, why is it not moving? And that's because my pen was touching my tablet. If you did post, there's been a lot of talking shit in the Discord, so I probably missed it. Titmouse has opened up internships and I want to submit for it. That's really funny you said that because I was actually considering. I saw that exact post and I was like, they're open to anybody. They're not just students. So I was like, maybe I should. Likeable Leaf, hey, I love your art tutorial short and I love your little model. Keep up the great work. Shit, thank you, Likeable Leaf. You definitely are likable. I will tell you that. I appreciate you coming in, dude. It's fun to see that the clips are working. We're getting a few more new people in the YouTube chat. So, I appreciate you popping by. Aw, shucks. I'm about to drop in now, says Jadu on Twitch. By the way, guys, we are streaming in 2 different locations. So if ever I'm talking or singing along to a song and you can't hear it or you don't know who I'm talking to, just assume it's the other one. And I'm not schizophrenic, okay? I don't have that many imaginary people in my head. And the ones that are in my head presumably are real and in my chat also. So, Ooh, are you on Twitch? You are on Twitch. I am on Twitch, dude. I go by Cat Stack on Twitch. Same deal. I was gonna say I'm bigger there. I am bigger there, whatever that means, But yeah, we're kind of all over the place. The majority of people, I will say, are probably on Twitch, and then we're starting to get more people coming in on YouTube though, because we're doing the YouTube shorts and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Shit, like we'll leave. You falling little old me? Shit. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm about to drop it now. All right, Jadu, let me know what's in the Discord. I'll take a look and we can go over it. All right. Right through your heart. Mellow Chi, you raid little old me? She. Get in here, Mellow. How you doing, dog? What were you doing today? Let me give you a little shout out real quick. Give me a second here. I don't know if there's any mods in chat, so I'm gonna do it myself. Shout out Mellow Chi. We're about to get into a chatter critique here, Mellow. If you want to share some art or anything that you were doing, because I know last category, keep talking and nobody explodes. Okay, well, you weren't doing any art. But if you do want to showcase a little bit of art, feel free to drop it in, dude. Mellow Raid, Bach Addict. How you doing, dude? Bach, dude, I see you like everywhere, bro. How's it going, dog? Whoa, hi, Bach. You guys know each other? Bach gets around, dude. Mello, if you want to share anything, go ahead. Otherwise, we're gonna jump into giving Jadu some feedback once he drops his thing in crits. Okay, cool, dude. All right, cool. You got a full body there. Very nice. All right, let's get into it. Doing well. Hope everything's great on your end as well. No, I definitely did art. Okay, well, send it over, dude, and then we'll jump into it. I'm gonna just yap about Jadu, and then we'll pause from Jadu's feedback. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do it. Let me do it on another canvas here, just because I've got so many freaking canvases open, and I just don't want to mess up my layers too much. So we're gonna go blank canvas on this one. Holy fuck, that's huge. Okay, give me a second here. I'm gonna swap the canvas. Let me. Oh yeah. I was trying to make like little React emotes for like the next clips that we're doing or whatever. So there's a lot of like I got my soy snack, and then I got my freaking shocked face snack that I'm roughing out. These are very rough. These are prototypes. You weren't supposed to see that, but it's too late now. And a thumbnail here. Wow, we're gonna just get rid of all that. I've been busy, clearly. What the fuck was I doing, guys? Oh, I'm opening up a canvas. That's true, and I'm resizing it so I can fit Jadu's big ass drawing on there. Give me a second. Width, let's say 5,000 on the width. Let's say I don't know. Yeah, we'll just keep it 4,000 for the height. Why you draw so freaking big, dude? Everybody gives me shit all the time for drawing so goddamn massive, and Jadu's out here drawing gargantuan canvases, bro. Alright, this one fits. Mellow, it's still a little whip, but I already shout out. It already, so I posted here. No worries, dude. Alright, I can't read, but I will definitely pull up your thing. Ooh, shit, I like this, dude. Give me a second. Let me pop this up here. I'm gonna try and zoom in on my screen so I don't get a super pixelated screenshot here. Hi, Snack. Saw your new reel. Shit, Sid. You watching me? Hell yeah, dude. We like that. I'm gonna aim to do one reel a week. That's gonna be my thing right now. Just, it's hard to balance with, like, my job and all that shit. But I got Ori helping me out on the editing. So Ori's gonna be doing my editing for me, which makes my life a lot easier. He edited the last reel. And we're gonna try and work from there. Mine's like 7,000 by 5,000, I think. Well, lucky for you, I just took a screenshot, so... But damn, dude, I really, really like your colors. I like the aesthetic. What do we got here? Skida. Somebody likes something. Skida. Skidate. So they're saying this. For those who don't know in Japanese, this is like quotation marks, and this is like basically like the freaking God. I can't talk, dude. It's the. Jesus Christ. It's the hiragana for quotations or whatever. Oh shit. What's going on here? What do we got? We got a Gigantify emote? Dope, dude. That's a massive ass emote. Thank you for the Gigantify. I gotta go Christmas shopping? Oh shit. Well, good luck. I'm missing so many messages right now, dude. Bach is everywhere all at once. He is. I also really, really like his like neon yellow like name. It's very unutilized, I feel like, on Twitch. HDMZ, hello. What up, dog? Snack, you're lying? About what? Damn, I hoped Boba was live. Boba is live. Does Boba stream now? Is that a thing? Anyways, back to Mellow Chi real quick. Mellow, I really dig this. I like the muted color palettes. I like the way it looks, dude. It's sick. It's meant to be I love you, since it's an allusion to Your Name, the movie where that plays. Would that not be look, my Japanese is a little rusty, okay? I haven't studied in a while, but would that not be like daisuki? Ski is just like to like something, right? And then daisuki is or aishiteru as well is like I love you, right? Aishiteru. Boba set the stream live notification because you forgot to? Oh. Oops. Whoopsies. Thank you, Boba. He takes such good care of me. Classic snack, always behind on chat. You guys talk too much, and I love it, you know, but I just can't read fast enough. I got like a 5th grade reading level. Give me a second here. I draw at a 1080p scale. Okay, you're lying to me, but I believe you, sure. Or larger, usually, definitely larger. Mine's also like 7,000 by 5,000. Your content creator voice really caught me off guard. Yeah, I don't know. I still like working on sort of the style and like the voice. Like I don't know what to do because the thing is they're scripted, right? It just makes my life a lot easier to write out a script because then I can sort of hit my beats. I know exactly what I'm talking about and I can structure it a little bit better. But at the same time, it gets to a point where like I'm reading my script. Like if I read a script, I can read the exact same script. I just don't know how to like say it in a way that doesn't sound like I'm basically like a couple intonations off from being like an AI voice. The way you're thinking about drawing is too complicated, and I'm gonna show you why. It does. I get it. It sounds like really like wild. I'm trying to think of how I would say that like organically. Aishiteru's never really used in Japan. Way too direct. Okay, gotcha. Dude, the way you're thinking about drawing, too complicated. I'm gonna show you why. I don't know, dude. Whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll try some different stuff out. We'll see what sticks. And it's really interesting to post on different social media platforms because they get different results. Opato321, hey man, what up, dog? How you doing, Opato, over there on YouTube? Please do not copy obnoxious art tubers. I'm not well like I'm not like trying to copy anybody in particular, but I do think like with YouTube there is like a sort of energy that you need. I just don't know how to do that without sounding like I'm faking it because I am obviously. It's tough, you know, so just bear with me. I feel like Japanese don't say ashiteru that much. Usually just daisuki. Yeah. Do a jiggle? Shit. You know it'd be jiggling, dog. You know it'd be jiggling. Alright. Mellow Chi, I really love your color composition. I love the way you did this, dude. Really, I do. I'm not even just saying that. I really like desaturated, sort of like muted colors. So anybody, if you guys want to go follow Mellow Chi, he posted his Instagram up above. Scroll up a little bit. And go give him a follow, dude. Go give him a follow on Instagram if you like his environment stuff. He's doing good stuff. All right, I'm gonna move this out of the way, and then we're gonna jump into Jadu's revision. This should put you there, Jadu. Okay, so you're you want to apply. I think you want to apply to Titmouse. Okay, you want to apply to Titmouse. Jadu, I will say, I think you need a cleanup pass on this. So I think you need to determine sort of your line weights a little bit stronger. And you need like a full-on cleanup pass. As far as proportions go, though, dude, you took a lot of what I said, like, to heart, and it works. I feel like it's a lot more organic and dynamic feeling, even though she's standing completely still, right? So I think adding a little contrapposto, which you did, it's subtle, and that's all you really need, dude. You don't need to go crazy with it. She doesn't need her shoulder like down here and the other one up here like it's dislocated and it's shooting up to the moon or whatever. You could definitely just have like a very subtle tilt, and you did it here with the fabric, and that's exactly what I was looking for. So you nailed that one, dude. I will say, I think right now the big thing you should focus on is tightening up your lines. So cleaner lines. And my advice to you would be to look at somebody who does a nice cleanup on their final and emulate that, and then draw like see how these lines here are very like scritchy scratchy, undefined. That's fine if it feels intentional, but this just feels messy right now. So that's sort of what I mean by you have to go in here. You have to determine sort of, okay, where are my darks going to be? Where are my values going to be? All that good stuff. And then from there, you could tie things down. And a rule of thumb for cleaning up lines in general, dude, is you want to go darker on the outside and lighter on the inside. I feel like you know this because I say it all the time. I'm also going to do this on another layer. One sec. Yeah, exactly. Very sweet scene since he was supposed to write his name on her hand, but it was more important to him to tell her they loved her. I cry manly tears at that. Yeah, I do. I do really like your name. I'm a bit of a sucker for it. I won't lie. I fought some friends over them saying it's overrated. Granted, I have some pretty strong animation opinions that would probably get me in trouble with half of you guys. So the skin's cleaner. I don't know what direction I want with the outfit. Yeah, the skin is definitely cleaner. I do think there's some sort of you can like right now your lines are flat. And so what I mean by that is if you look here, like where there's bone and there's like shadow under the ear, typically you'll see a little bit of more of a thickness around there, and then you'll like sort of get like a lighter line going in here. And then sometimes you'll do like, sometimes you could do like a harsher line around the chin. It just really depends. It's up to you how you want to do it. That's really sort of where like style comes in. But typically, when you're doing cleanup on lines, clean up, clean lines, okay? The big foundational stuff is usually the outside, generally speaking, and there's definitely areas where this would not apply, but generally speaking, the outside lines is darker. And then the inside lines are lighter. And then beyond that, you want to think of sort of where the shadows are. Think of where your shadows are, and you can also use line weight to sort of the to sort of identify that shadow area, dude. I don't know why I'm having a mind blank there. Shadows. Also, bony ridges, you could also apply line weight to. Like, let's say you have a very, very broad, like bony or muscle apexes, or where they connect into the apex. There's really no like wrong answer, but varying it up in general is probably going to make it a little bit more appealing. If you're doing like a shadow, let's say, or like a shoulder. Okay, so that's what I would say. These need a full cleanup pass. When it comes to determining where your wrinkles and stuff are gonna go, typically with wrinkles, if you have like a mass, you got to think of the tension points, right? And because this part of her torso or her clothing is over her breasts, if the fabric is loose enough, you're gonna get the tension points up in the armpit here. So you're gonna get wrinkles coming like this, and then you might also get wrinkles going from breast to breast as they pull on the fabric. Okay, typically that's how it goes. Now, if these sort of little fabric bunches here are sewn on and it's an intentional design choice, then that'll vary. That'll change a little bit too, right? So you can apply that as well. But I would still use these lines to indicate the general form of the actual breast underneath. Okay? This, like, see how this is like a point here and then it dips down? You got like a harsh line direction shift here. I would avoid stuff like that, especially going over circular features like a breast, right? Like you're gonna have it's gonna be a lot more round as it wraps that form, less pointed. Same deal up here. There's no real rhyme or reason for this fabric to sort of bunch like this unless it's sewn that way, in which case I would indicate that somehow, or just make it clear with your shape design. It does kind of feel like it is sort of sewn that way, actually, looking at it at the more three-quarter pose. Also, I do like that you narrowed down to like just these poses. You can add a 3/4 back if you want as well. I think when I originally told you to do stuff, I was like, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And then after the fact, it kind of like came back to me that I was like, you could also include a 3/4 back. And then it feels like a complete 3/4 back. Thinking of the lines here on the eyes. I think doing this line all the way through and even like that is a little too much. I would have some breakups in here. You know, like you can have this line like that, but maybe break it up a little bit. Maybe to have that some do something like that. You know, think of adding design elements into the creases of the eyes here instead of just having like a harsh mirroring line over top, because then you kind of get that symmetry feeling, right? Trying to think of how I did it on the girl we're currently drawing. Where the fuck is she? Oh my god. There we go. Yeah, like my oops, I did a red line there. My eyes are going like this, and then my wrinkles kind of just like this here. It's kind of it, really. They're not like a one-to-one in terms of shape. Dude, I am lagging so freaking hard right now. Overrated? Give me their names and addresses. I can't do that. They live too close to me. Otherwise, yeah, sure, we'll dox them all, dude. Your name's great for real. I really like when she gave him the red line. Oh my heart. Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah. I remember watching it during the pandemic and shit. That's sort of depicted in the drawing. It's a hand gripping the band. Okay, back to Jadu's thing. I also don't really like these like hard lines on the brows. Now, I don't like you could probably do it in a way that works. I don't really like it. I also feel like she needs hair here. She should have like sideburn, like so, like unless she's bald and she just has like some weird like cyberpunk thing where like the hair just kind of starts back here. She's got like the fucking Stevie Wonder thing going on. Is that Stevie Wonder's hair look like that? I don't know, but she needs hair on the side of her head. Her hair's gonna start in front of the ear here. Now this side's covered up, so it doesn't really matter as much. She could be bald. If you tell me she's bald, I'll take it back. But design-wise, I think it's a good idea for her to have some sort of hair there. Hey man, and Opato, and yes, what you got? I'm gonna add something there. I was just testing hairstyles. Okay, I gotcha. I can see she has hair here. Um, bottom half of the face still strikes me as fairly long. Now, I'm trying to think, like, what are your... Your nose point might be a little long. Or a little low. Like, the nostrils here. I think her nose, like, her nostril is up here, but this nostril's down here. You kind of, like, elongated her face on the profile view again. So I just watch that, because I think I mentioned last time you tend to go a little long on the bottom half of the profile faces. So I would just watch that. Like, her nostril here is almost the same height as, like, her top lip. Now, it could just be that I drew my horizontal line. I did kind of just freehand it. I didn't, like, use some sort of, like, snap tool. It looks pretty straight to me, though. Fat Wombat, how you doing, big dog? Nothing to be sorry about, all good. Time Flyer is also part of it from the chorus of Nande Monaya, and it kind of fits the decay theme of the drawing. Yeah, so I would really, really track all these. Your brow here. Look how your brow on this one here, if you draw a horizontal line through, is like slightly higher. I should do this in blue so it's a little bit more apparent for you, but you see how your brow has a higher point, and then you drop it down a bit, and then this bottom point right here and this top point here, like this back point is more elevated than that front one. But on this one, it's lower, or it's basically even. So these are the little things you really, really have to catch, okay, when you're going through this. And I also feel like this straight line here, you want that to be a little bit more curved. Oops. You don't want it to be upside down, but you do want it to be a little bit more curved to show that it's wrapping her brow bone. Also, typically, your brow is going to start front of profile a little bit farther in front of the eye. So if your eye is like here, it's going to be a little bit more in front here. These are good. Are you mentoring someone? So Opato, the way it works over on Twitch, I mean it's not just Twitch, it's just in general. Every now and then, and I don't do this all the time, mostly because I've been getting a lot of them lately, but typically what we do, maybe once or twice a stream, is we go through people who post in the critique channel on my Discord. It's free to join, though you do have to be over the age of 18, because we are an 18 plus channel, or stream. And the channel less so much, the stream definitely we are 18 plus. But if you post in the critiques channel, I typically go over your art when I have time or when I'm in the mood for it. There's no like schedule for it. So are you mentoring someone? Kind of. I'm mentoring kind of a lot of people, I guess. You're right. Why does it seem so obvious when you point it out, but I miss these things when I'm actually drawing? It's just because I got the muscle memory for it, dude. I just like I can spot these things because I've done it a lot more than you, you know? That's all. I think the eyelid or the eyelash should go a little bit past also. And maybe I would personally, this is my personal preference, okay? So you don't have to do this. I like to add a little line in there or like here or something just to sort of indicate that there's a 3D edge there, right? Another thing I would say is your degree of scleral show. And this is kind of funny because I want to make a clip on this on TikTok / Instagram or / fucking YouTube or whatever. They could probably add some marker lines for the facial features to make sure everything's aligned. Mentor, his ego's out of control. Sorry, I meant lead as a cult leader, you know? As like a little shaman. I'm basically like a little shaman drip feeding you drugs and hallucinogenics. Hello, mentor. What up, NFT? I'm just kidding. How you doing, NFT? What up, dude? Anyways, I'm gonna need to run now, post-stream hunger and all that. Thanks for taking care of my viewers. I'll definitely be back another time, and thanks for being nice about my R2. Have a great stream and the rest of the day, Snack and everyone. Hey, no worries, Mello. I appreciate you raiding me, dude. Have a good night. Go eat. Do whatever you gotta do. Poop. You know, do your thing. All snails, snacks, titties. That's right. I'm gonna join in your Discord. All right, dude. Do it up. I don't know if it's linked on my YouTube, actually. If there's a mod, does somebody want to drop them a link? I can also just drop it in the Discord here, or in the chat. Give me a sec. But, Dictator Snack, time for this stream. Yeah, that's right. Dictator Snack time. Can't talk, bro. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing, this is a big one, dude, and I'm trying to think, like, where this habit comes from. Because I see a lot of artists do this. Does Kasem do this when he draws? I'm going to go look at his art right now. Because I wonder if there's a way to do this stylistically. My instinct is that there isn't. Let me just see Kasem. When he draws eyes, does he have scleral show at the bottom? He does. Okay, so actually I'm just going to use his art as an example just because I have it open here. Because I was just double checking. I was clicking on his work just to see if he does what I'm about to say, okay? And I'm gonna have a YouTube video on this very soon, maybe in the next couple weeks. But what I want you to note is whenever an eye is staring off neutrally, okay? Whenever an eye is in a neutral position, and you know what? I'm gonna use his like purple haired guy as an example too, while we're glazing Kasem a little bit, all right? There's this concept that's called scleral show, okay? And what is scleral? Because it sounds like a fancy medical term, and it kind of is. essentially what the sclera is it's the white of the eye, okay? And the eye, when it's in certain states, whether it be alert, stimulated, angry, upset, whatever, it's going to have different types of scleral show. Meaning there's going to be different types of different degrees of the white of the eye showing. And in a neutral eye, you almost always, not always, but almost always get some sort of scleral show below the eye where there's a tiny, tiny little sliver of white of the sclera showing, okay? So that's an example there. Look at all these. Look at this. Neutral eye. It's like, this is very pixelated because I took a screenshot, but there's definitely some sclera showing there. Definitely some sclera showing there. Definitely some sclera showing there. Sclera showing there. Blah, 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 blah. You get it, okay? So that's all I want to point out. If you're doing a neutral eye, Jadu, make sure that you have a little bit more scleral show. I'm sure there's a way to pull it off stylistically that looks more appealing, but it's going to look a lot more natural if you have a little bit more of the sclera showing underneath. Hopefully that helps. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to do it in red because I think the blue doesn't read very well. Okay, and I think, you know what, I should probably check my own art because I don't even know if I do this. Where the fuck? Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I definitely do a lot of scleral show on mine, actually. This is not a neutral pose, though, so this I would not constitute as a neutral eye. This, to me, is like you would have your head tilted down. This is almost like if you take the eye here and you tilt the head down, that's a little bit closer to what I have there, but... but for your purposes here, okay, more scleral show. It's going to look a little bit more natural, a little bit less like soulless, like some weird like lizard eyes or whatever. And I guess she kind of has like this thing here. I just think it looks weird though, you know? Speak for yourself. I did biochemistry. Why are there no titties? Oh, there were 2 seconds ago. Were there not? I guess I pressed the number 1 by accident. Just call it the white of the eye. We aren't smart enough for all those words. I like using very specific terms because then when I say something like in the future, like you need more scleral show on the right or more scleral show on the left. I mean, I guess I could just say you need to show more white of the eye. But I like saying these things because it reinforces the anatomy to chat, okay? So chat, like you guys are trying to learn, and it helps to know these things as sort of landmarks. If I say the sclera, you should be able to identify, oh, he means the white of the eye. If I say the deltoid, you should be able to identify, oh, that means the shoulder. If I say the humerus, you should know that's the upper bone of the arm, okay? These are like sternocleidomastoid, neck muscles, zygomatic arch, bones, they're like bone structure in the face here, okay? Like these things are kind of not that important to know, I guess. Like I could just call it the white of the eye. But I think they give you sort of they're just a lot more precise, in my opinion. And I think when you have like that precision, it becomes a lot easier to get those little 1% improvements on your art, you know? The fuck-ass sternocleidomastoid. You can call it SCM. A lot of people call it SCM, too. I like the blank Barbie eyes. But neck muscles make you sound dumb. Exactly. Whenever I'm talking about the ass, I gotta say gluteus maximus, dude. She needs a BBL. Everybody knows what a BBL is, right? I'm just kidding, by the way. You don't have to do this. This is just me. I'm memeing at this point, but don't do this. She's fine. She's fine with her little butt here. Okay, I would make it a little rounder, but otherwise it's fine. Also, this curve here would not be curving this way. It would be curving this way. How do I know that? Because there's a leg underneath. And the leg is a cylinder. And this cylinder is going to have sort of like that round shape as it goes up. And so those curves or those wrinkles have to emulate that. So think about that when you're doing your wrinkles. I don't mind if she's caked up. It'll improve my chances. I don't know if it will. I don't know. I don't know a lot of people. I know a few people that work at Titmouse, but not that many. One of my good friends worked there. Okay, Jadu, I'm gonna leave you with that because that's a lot to go over. Basically, line cleanup, scleral show, factoring, form, eyebrows, and what do we say? Wrinkle direction over form. Wrinkles over form. And then I see we have two more critiques in there. I'm gonna say those are the last two we'll do. And then we got NFT up next. And then we got Vane. NFT, you still in chat? Titmouse, I want to work for Catsnack too. That's right, different Titmouse. Alright, I'm gonna send you this in the Discord. Oh yeah, sorry, the length on the side of the profile, the profile positioning, profile proportions, I'll just say. Facial proportions. You know what's funny? Lately, because I've been doing all the YouTube stuff, or I say all, I've done like 2 videos or 3 videos or whatever. One thing, oh, actually, also add 3/4 back. I didn't say that before, but add a 3/4 back view. Okay, I'll send you this. What was I saying? Oh yeah, somebody. I've been watching a lot of Grind Bro entrepreneur videos. Okay, I'm not good. This is not me announcing I'm going into my red pill arc, but I've been watching a lot of sort of how to do YouTube videos. Okay, and somebody brought up an interesting point that like I kind of hate that makes sense. But the point is basically this. Let me go to my. I don't need this. What's even on this freaking drawing? Where did I even put on this drawing? Okay, this was also critiques. I don't need to save this. Do not save. Where is the girl? There we go. They were saying, basically, when they make their YouTube shorts, what they do is they run it through a readability tracker, okay? And what a readability tracker does is it determines the language that you use and the reader difficulty level for understanding. And what they said was they try and keep their readability under a 5th grade reading level for all. So basically, what you do is you type your YouTube script out, right? What you're going to say. And then you run it through the readability tracker. And if it's too highbrow, people are not going to watch it because they're not going to understand it. And so my next video, I'm probably going to make it for morons, okay? It's going to be for idiots. I'm going to make sure that there's no doubt in the world that you know every word I'm saying in the video. Because I think in my last one, I was saying, like, I had, like, there was, like, one complex line that was deemed, like, too difficult to understand, okay? And I think it was, like, yeah, it was, when you learn to look for them, you'll unlock patterns that give you the foundation to cut through the noise and excessive detail to reduce the chances of making mistakes. Okay, I think I said that at some point in my last clip. I'm just looking at my freaking my script right now, and I put that through a readability tracker, and it was a 9th grade reading level, which is not massive. Okay, if you should be, most people should be able to read that. But my major demographic is the U.S. and Canada, so I have to assume that most people aren't gonna know what the fuck I'm saying. It's when you raise your eyebrows too hard. Yeah, that's it. What alien words are you saying? I mean, I said scleral show everybody everywhere earlier, and everybody basically fucking started pissing and shitting and crying, dude. So I gotta watch out. Sometimes I'm too freaking I'm just too much of a freaking genius, guys. I'm like Megamind, dude. My brain's too big. I don't know what to say. Step 1, download AI. Step 2, download type good YouTube video. Step 3, profit. That's so depressing. Yeah, I think that what the more the more you watch like what works on YouTube and what doesn't, the more depressing it gets. Because what you'll notice is I have a hook at the start of my reels, and that's intentional, okay? It's because people are more likely. There's some metrics, okay, that are really 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 important if you want your video to be picked up by the algorithm. Unfortunately, it's not like pure luck. There's like an actual way that the YouTube algorithm works. The way it works is basically what it does is it'll run your video and it'll circulate it to everybody in your immediate circle. So these are your subscribers, a small group of people, okay? And if that's picked up by these people, because these are the ones who are the most likely to watch your shit, okay? If it's picked up by these people, then what it does is it bumps it to a broader, larger audience. And when I say picked up, I mean of these people, I don't know what my thing's lagging right now. Of these people, they have watched at least 60% of your video on average, okay? So they don't tune out and they click it when it pops up, okay? If it passes through that filter, YouTube then runs it through a larger filter, okay? And then this filter is going to have people that aren't subscribed to you, but are still sort of in your artistic or in your niche of domain. And then if it passes that filter and you get a lot of click through based off of that filter, then it runs it to an even broader audience, and that's sort of when you go viral, right? So that's when you get like 200 plus K views, whatever, okay? But in this range, you're in the like 0 to 10K range if you can get through these filters. And so unfortunately, you have to set up your YouTube videos with these hooks to get people to click on them and to watch them, and you need to make sure that they're not too boring. And so if I'm freaking, you know, doing hooks and clickbaity stuff, just know I'm not trying to piss you guys off. All right? My goal is not to piss you off. My goal is that my philosophy on it. Does Twitch have an algorithm like that? No. Twitch is different. I'll talk about Twitch after. But you're boring because of the lack of tits. I actually do wonder if like having tits in videos will help more. I feel like every single comment on my fucking videos has just been how massive my tits are. I don't want to be the tit mouse guy though. No pun intended. But yeah, the way what did you ask? Somebody asked something. And I was gonna go on another little tangent. Does the Twitch algorithm do that? No, it doesn't. A/B test without the tits. Yeah. I might do that. Anyway, it's not like super duper important, but fuck, there was something else I was gonna say. I completely forgot. Yeah, okay. Oh, so this is my philosophy on like clickbait shit, okay? This is my philosophy on clickbait shit. I think if you do like a hook, like you're like, hey, do these, I don't know, two things. If you do these two things, you will get X result. Or, you know, if you have to do there are these two things nobody's doing and you have to do them. You know, some bullshit like that. That's like very clearly just like a clickbait hook. My philosophy is if you do a clickbait hook like that, but the viewer feels like they got a payoff from the actual substance of the video, meaning the video that you produce actually teaches them something that they deem as valuable and they feel like they got value out of it, they won't be bothered by the hook. But if you don't do an appropriate like substance delivery, or you don't give them the value that they want through your video, like let's say I do you have to do these two. If you're an idiot, you're doing these two things. You know, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Some shit like that, okay? Only idiots do these two things. And then I talk about my dog for 5 minutes, okay? People are gonna hate me. All right? People are gonna hate me. So I feel like that's sort of, unfortunately, the way that the system is set up. It's not made for long attention spans. It's made for ADHD Zoomers, okay? Unfortunately. So that's I'm using my corporate brain, and I'm gonna be doing my content that way. And if you hate me, I'm not sorry, okay? It's what you gotta do, you know? That's how it be sometimes. My only hope is that you guys get value out of the shit I'm saying. All right, let's go into the next critique, which is gonna be NFT. Okay. I gotta pull up Discord for this. Give me a second here while I pull up Discord. Alright, Discord time. Where we go? We got Discord here. Okay, NFT, are you taking notes? Because I'm not gonna, you know what, I will write this down actually. Let's play it through. Something just happened. What just happened? Confetti resubscribed for 8 months, dude. Thank you for the 8 month streak, dude. I appreciate you, Yeti. Thank you for the sub. She's my #1 fan, guys. Okay, let's go back to NFTs thing. Okay, right here. Yeah, here. Why does it change direction? Are you trying to do like a Milt Call, like head shake here? On frame 11, he like flickers back and then he goes forward again. See? 10, like 9, 7, 9. Well, they're all sort of the same drawing. They're going forward. Then he pops back. Then he goes forward again. I don't know if you're trying to do like a Milt Call thing, but it just kind of feels like it glitches. I don't know if you swapped the order of the drawings wrong or something. So frame, where did I say? This is frame 11. Frame 11 pops back. Frame 11 pops. I'm just writing this down. You guys can't see it because I'm just showing the animation. Okay, so that's the first little section. Everything works. What I think would work better is on the last shot here, like when he pops his head down, okay? I think if you had these flare out, slightly offset, like his little ear things or whatever, his little antenna things, around on the head around frame. I'm just gonna put around. I'm writing down right now. Around frame 74. Have these pop out in a more snappy way. Like he's almost like flaring them. You know what I mean? I think it would look more appealing because it's just too slow, and it just I feel like if it makes the head pop make more sense. I'm gonna get rid of Discord now. It makes the head pop make more sense NFT when the if the next action from those things is that they flare out and snap, they're a lot more snappy. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Does what I'm saying make sense? You see my text, right, under the vid? No, I don't. I don't see your text at all. Oh, wait. I realized the volume inconsistency and some structural issues after doing it, and apparently excessive movement. I'm going to use simpler arcs next time. You know what? Looking at it again, I don't even think that the flicker looks that bad. I don't think this like pop looks that bad actually. I just wonder if you could do it like with more intentionality instead of just having like one in there. Actually, like do a proper head shake. Look up this guy named Milt Call. Okay, look up Milt Call head shake. I don't know how to spell it. I don't know if the H comes first or whatever. Head shake. And study that. Because I think that's what you're trying to do. And I would look at how he does it and check his timing out and try to match his timing. Do you know who Milt Call is? That would be my advice to you. Is go check out Milt Call. He's famous. He was a Disney animator. Super famous for doing head shakes, okay? He did a lot of like Jungle Book animation. And yeah, he does stuff like that. When you said the ear thing and your PNG tuber twitched its ear, its call with the twitched its ear. I thought you did that intentionally. I did not. It's call with the H after. Okay, well, whatever. Pretend these are in the different spots. But yeah, I think it looks good, NFT. I mean, there's not a whole lot for me to add there. I do think you could just get more of a sort of like flare on that last little shot with the freaking like things coming out or whatever. I think it would look nicer. But that's just like a style thing. It's not terrible. I just think it would work better. Okay, Vane, your turn.
Fuck.
Fakey fake. Fakey fake. Thank you for the follow. Fakey fake. Do we know you? I've got so many people in chat called Faye. It just makes me think that you're like an alt version of one of those people. It's not a bad thing, by the way. Thank you for the Revs mentor. I prefer Supreme Leader, but I'll allow mentor, alright, just for this time. I hate the lack of lewdness from me not having titties. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Venom says it will. More comments equals more traction. Yeah, kind of. I do think the tech should be to just have fat tits. And then I think the thing is, I'm just going to keep pretending like I don't know what people are talking about whenever people point them out. That's kind of what I've been doing in the YouTube comments. Whenever somebody's like, holy fuck, dude, your tits are so big, I'm always like, I don't know, I have no idea what you're talking about. What about Pops, since you fuck our moms anyway? I just feel like that's gonna be weaponized into daddy. I don't want chat calling me daddy all day, you know? I don't trust you guys enough. You might as well play along YFM. I don't know what YFM means. I don't know why I sound so disappointed whenever I don't know what the fuck. You feel me? Oh, okay, that makes sense. I don't mean to sound disappointed when I don't know your acronyms. It's just so many people, not acronyms, abbreviations. So many people use like, no, acronyms is the right word, is it? I don't know, whatever, it's not important. Okay, what do we got? Let's pull up Venom's thing now. I do really like the way this one's looking. Anyways. Okay. Kiss Adonis. How you doing, dog? You want me to call you Kiss Adonis or Queen? Queen is a lot quicker. Kiss works. Kiss is short. There you go, Kiss. Oh my god, you actually get to draw this time? Queen's easier? Alright, Queen works. Do I get to draw? I'm still doing revisions right now. Once I import fucking Venom's giant ass fucking drawing, dude. Holy fuck. You guys are trying to fuck my canvas up. This is why I can't save these canvases, dude. They're too massive. I need help with the hair the most, not gonna lie. Okay. I couldn't make it look good for the fucking life of me, bro. Alright, well, let's see what we can do here. Excusez-moi. What size canvas do you use? I mean, it varies. I think the one that I was drawing this chick on is... You can see my canvas sizes up at the top here. Which is why whenever I import somebody's drawing onto my canvas, and they're, like, fucking massive, it, like, blows my mind. Because my canvases are big, you know? Like, 5,000 by 8,342 pixels, which is incredibly random. I don't know why it's set up that way, but... This one's 10,000 by 5,000. But look, even if I import fucking Venom's thing in here... Look how fucking massive it is. Look at this shit. Anyways, okay. You want help with the hair. I will be real. The way I render hair is a little bit flat-ish. It's not like flat. It's just kind of like I don't. The way I stylize hair is not like strand by strand, okay? So what I would do, if it's me doing it in my style Venom, this is what I'm doing, alright? I'm lasso tooling. First of all, I probably wouldn't lasso tool. I would most likely just, I would most likely get a clipping layer, so I don't have to, but I'm just gonna do this quick and dirty, alright? Just the same way I did your mom last night. Sorry, that was uncalled for. Though so true. Okay, and then something like that. Chat, is it a critique if people aren't catching strays? Come on, dude. When you helped me with that 0-2 drawing, it looked good as hell. I just couldn't replicate what you taught me. Also, my canvas is 6K by 8K. Sure it is. Yeah, well, Venom, that's because I'm the best, dude. I'm just the greatest teacher there is. All right. I honestly don't remember that drawing though, but I believe I did a good job on it. Okay. This ain't the humble snack era anymore. That was a year ago. Okay. If you wanted humble snack, you had to watch him when he had 5 viewers. Now I refer to myself in the third person. I talk nothing but good shit about myself. I'm in my fucking king era. All right. Okay. Back to lasso tooling. You know what? I could have probably just used my magic selector tool. It's not important. Anyways, what I would do, I'm just gonna put down a base tone. Okay, this is how I draw my hair. Okay, you'll probably see me do it today after this. I put down a base tone. Okay, whatever the local color is of the hair. Okay, just like the base color. I do that. Oh my god, where did my canvas just go? Okay, I do that. And then what I do, normally I would do it on another layer, so I'll just do it on another layer here. Oh, I also just realized I did that on another. Let me do this on another layer, so I'm not fucking up your drawing here. The lighting on the face is pretty. It is, and I'm gonna use it to sort of identify my things here. Because the issue right now is if you look how fucking bright your highlight is on the face, dude. I don't know why I'm being so aggressive right now, but look how bright your highlight is on the face. And then where's any of that on the hair? She's got like bleach blonde hair, dude. Give her some freaking light on her hair. All right, so what I would do here is I would take this. I'm gonna clip it to the layer below. You can get rid of that. I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna drop the value. I'm gonna crank the saturation. Whenever I shadow something, I typically bump up the saturation and reduce the values. Okay, that's usually how I like to do it. You don't have to do it this way. It's just how I like to do it. Okay. Now I'm working within the light source you've already identified here, and I'm putting in some darks. Okay, I could go even darker here, I think. And I'm just doing big brush strokes. Big, thick strokes, dude. Just like I did with your mom, okay? Just like that. So we're going to go over this. Big brush strokes. Then I'm going to go over here. I'm going to take this. We're going to crank the value up. I'm going to saturate it just a little bit. I'm trying to catch the same sort of light source. You stroked my mom. She doesn't have a penis? No. I was stroking her, dude. With my penis. My little mouse penis. Okay. And I just think, like, now it makes a little bit more sense. And then from here, I would sort of carve out shapes a little bit more. And I would do it the same way that I would with like a face, where I'm literally just going in here and I'm determining where I want my shapes to be. I'm using a hard like brush, no opacity. I'm just going in here and I'm just wondering, okay, how do I want to define my shapes? How do I want to define my shapes? Do I want a core shot? That was totally unintentional, but I kind of dig it. Okay, I did not mean to put that there, but it is sick. Hard. My brushes are always hard, dude. You should see the tip of my pen right now. Mostly because I swapped my stylus nib out. Normally my nib is like fucking... My nib? I have a photo of it, okay? I have a photo of it, okay? I have a fucking... My pen nib. Guys, I bought new nibs this week because I was fucking having such a hard time drawing. No, I was making a sex joke. Your nib? I know. I was going along with your sex joke, but it did segue perfectly into me talking about how fucked the tip of my pen was. Okay? So you can imagine this as an innuendo, but it is also real life. Okay. So a normal Wacom pen, Wacom, whatever. My fucking Wacom pen. This is what my Wacom pen look like, alright? It looks like this, like a classic Wacom pen. But then you zoom in on the tip, and my fucking nib, normal nibs look like this. That's what a normal nib looks like. Like a big, like a big orangutan nipple, okay? My nib was so fucked. My nib looked like this. I swear to God, it looked like that. It looked so fucked. We can't trauma dump in here, so I'll refrain from saying what I wanted to say. Good. I don't want to know what your problems are, dude. Talk to your therapist, not me. Send nibble pics? Maybe when you're older. Alright. So this is what my pen looked like. And then what happened was when I bought the new nibs, it's because on half of my pen, I could only use this side if I wanted to use full opacity on my brush strokes. And then on this side, it was like fucking 10% opacity. And for like months, I've been like, it's been so hard to draw. And then I got a new pen, and I was like, holy fuck, this is what drawing's supposed to feel like. I've had this pen nib for like 5 years, okay? I have not changed it in like 5 years. I have been abusing the shit out of this thing. Nibble piercings, exactly. Okay, so anyways, all that to say, guys, change your pen nibs. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. We're gonna go over freaking Venom's thing here. All right, Venom. So I'm just separating my shadows here. And then this is sort of how I would determine things, right? I'm like, okay, well now, what do I want here? Is this gonna be, like, how are these shapes defined, right? Do we want some shapes in here, like going like this? Is that this shape here? And if that's the case, does it continue on? Does it maybe come into here? You know? What is the light not catching? This is sort of where the painterly part of you comes in, right? Where you can sort of determine, okay, like, this is going to be in shadow, this is not going to be in shadow. This part is up to you. Right? And then I'd go in here, you know, and then all this shit too. Like, you got some of this stuff in there or whatever. I don't know, dude. Whatever you want to do, okay? And then you go even darker. Whoa. Burn. And now I'm going to soften things up. I'm going to go a little darker, but I'm going to soften things up. Because I'm trying to match the sort of value shifts that you've got in the face here. I'm going to go even darker, more saturated to just boost this little Terminator here. And this is kind of how I would paint, dude. And then I would just sort of go in, push things, pull things. You know, once I've determined sort of where my shapes are and all that stuff. And I just think it's going to make a lot more sense to do things this way. You know, and look, these shapes aren't necessarily beautiful or anything, but it's just sort of an example of how you should be thinking about defining things. How do I make the hair look, I don't know, more curly? That's a tough one. I'm not awesome at curly hair. My guess would be texture. Okay. What kind of texture? Good question. Let's see what this brush does. Also, do you ever look at other artists? Like, if there's I mean, obviously you're looking at me right now, but I mean, like, if there are other artists that you like the way they do things, why don't you just look at their shit and steal from them, you know? To add more texture of some sort. I'm just kind of dabbing my pen a little bit everywhere here. I don't know if this is going to work. This probably might not work, but, you know, whatever. We're going to try it out. I'm just trying to get some texture in here. I don't really know how I would do it necessarily. I really don't know. I think the another thing is with curly hair, typically the volume is a lot bigger. Right now, it doesn't feel like it's curly hair, just because your volume is very flat here at the top, in particular. Like her skull, like if I draw this through, her skull is literally just like right here. If I'm drawing this beautiful babe's head, her literal skull is like up here. So her hair is incredibly flat. If it's curly, if she's got like type 2B or whatever, even like if she had Asian like really like thick like straight hair, it would still sort of like have more volume up here. So I think you need to push the volume up a little bit. So I'm gonna get rid of drawing her head here. I'm just gonna draw more volume up at the top. I think you're just trying to do like a couple different things. It kind of feels like you're kind of doing like the classic anime hair, like the anime bangs or whatever. But then you're also trying to do like big shaggy hair. And you could probably do both, but I feel like you need more like curve to this and more like directionality, like random directions and change of directions or whatever. I don't really know how I would execute it. That's a very difficult question to answer. Hmm. I'm gonna be honest, dude. I don't really know how to answer that question. I'm just gonna say you do definitely need more volume on the top of the head, though. I would also say sort of like frame her face a little bit better. She's too covered up right now. Show a bit more of her face. I know she's like the mysterious. She's got like that kind of like school shooter vibe a little bit. Her dark hoodie and like hair over everything. But I think we could give her a little bit more better shape design. I just feel like that shows a little bit more volume. We could take this or not volume, form. I'm gonna drop the value on this. I'm gonna saturate a little bit. Nah, nah. I was trying something there, but I don't know if that's gonna work. I'd like to see more eye. I think at least for one of the eyes. I just feel like she's too covered up. There's no. It's hard to. The reason I think it's not compositionally working is just because there's nowhere for my eyes to like lock onto. It's all hair. You know what I mean? Like compositionally, you kind of need a focal area. And if her eyes are too covered up, like when I zoom out here, like 90% of this drawing, well, maybe that's an exaggeration. Like 70% is hair. The infamous Rembrandt triangle. That is what I was gonna try. I could do it. I think I just need to use a soft brush. And I'm gonna put it right up on the cheekbone here. I'm just gonna blend it in. I think that could work, you know? I'm gonna blend out. I also think there's a lot of light here. I feel like you still need some sort of like separation of the lips. Now the values are gonna be pretty subtle in terms of their shifts, but I think her face is like way too overexposed. I would just tone down how bright that is. Like quite a bit more actually. I don't like how much the hair covers the face. There's just no clear focal area. That's sort of a big issue right now for me. Also, her nose looks like it just sort of stops. Even if there's saturation here, the nose is still gonna have really dark shadows. The light just can't bend around the nostrils like that. You're really, 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 really bright on everything. We really gotta just tone it down a whole lot here. Hmm. My advice to you for curly hair though is use reference. I know that's a really boring piece of advice, but unfortunately, I just don't know everything. Wish I did. I'll tell you I do, but I just don't. And clear up the whole face area. Now, like, you don't have to listen to me. You don't have to clear up the whole face area. I think it's gonna read a lot better if you do, personally. At least a little bit more, just so that we know what we're working with here. Light's gonna hit her chin too, bottom lip. Now I'm just going through here real quick. I'm not trying to make this pretty or anything. I just kind of want to see what it looks like if I could see more of her face. I feel like such a dad sometimes where I'm like, dude, get your hair out of your face, dude. I can't see your lovely face. I don't know if critique's open to chat, so feel free to ignore me, but you might want to section out the hair a little where parts overlap, unless you're going for a particularly blocky look. Yeah, I think I tend to agree with that. I do also for the record, I tend to avoid letting chat give feedback, mostly because I don't trust you guys to actually give good feedback. I've had some people historically chime in with like advice on shit, and they just say nonsense. So I tend to just be like, no, don't pipe in. I also just don't think people can regulate sometimes their like people for the most part, I think mostly listen to me, unfortunately, because they view me as an authority figure. I don't know why, okay? But they do. And so sometimes people just don't want to hear it. But no, you are right. You are right, Kimdo. And that's sort of what I was saying earlier with like defining the shapes a little bit better and just clarifying things a little bit cleaner. And just using tones that also sort of feel a little bit more human. I would add some blush. I always blush up my honeys, dude. My babes are always blushed the heck up. And it doesn't have to be. I just like the way it makes them look more alive, you know? And you can blend that out into the skin tone or whatever. Skin tone tends to have a lot of like subtle hue variations. Be deliberate with sort of your shadows. Get rid of the white. This eye is like very, 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 very white. I would sort of like really tone that down. Also, get some scleral show stuff I was talking to Jadu about earlier. I'm gonna tone down the lips a little bit. Not that you can't have them this big. I just think On a white girl like this, I'm getting heavy like Hollywood ducklet vibes a little bit. I'm trying to see how I can make this work actually. Let's take this value and just blend that into that there. I'm gonna push the values real dark here. I'm gonna do so fair. I'll keep that in mind. It's not that I disagree. It's just that, like I said, I've just had people give bad advice in the past that I tend to just not let people do advice, and also I just think sometimes people just don't necessarily want to hear it from chat. You know. Now I'm pushing a lot of the darks under the lip here. What I typically do is I'll add like a highlight on the edge of the lip. Probably using these really bright ass colors you got here, but just like a little. I'm gonna drop this down too. I'm gonna add a shadow under here. Anyways, I'm doing kind of too much right now, but I just don't think you've defined a lot of your shapes very well. A little water line here. Always zooming out as far as I can. I can show you the reference I use for the lighting. Sure, go for it. That would be very helpful, actually. Let me know what's in there. Sent it. Okay, give me a sec. Ah, okay. Okay. She definitely has like the hardcore exposed stuff going on. Let me let me get rid of my recent drawing just so that we can compare sort of the values you got going on this. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take this person's drawing. Okay, we're gonna do over top of all this. We're gonna add a hue layer. We're gonna shift the values so that we can see how they work their values. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of my drawings. Okay, so it's only your drawings. Except I'm gonna get a better version of your drawing. Shit. It's just because I drew on it by accident. Whatever. It's not important. I only drew on it a little bit. Just gonna paint this in. Pretend like this is your version, okay? Do you like it feels like the values are a little bit more uh subtle on this. Also, notice how much more of the face is visible, right? Remember what one of the things I was telling you earlier was I feel like you need to see a whole lot more of the face. I was drawing. I'm drawing like there's not a fucking color layer over top. Okay. Look how much more of the piece is the face as the focal area versus yours, right? And the shapes on yours sort of break up sort of the flow of where you're supposed to look almost. It's just there's a difference. So I think if you had like this much face, let's say, and you cropped everything out, like compositionally, just crop everything out. Because all this stuff up here, this also distracts, right? There's literally almost like a 3-to-1 or a 50/50 ratio of like background to foreground, whereas like her background is very very small here. These are really really important things, okay? These compositional things, they don't feel like they're important, but a lot of art is felt, and to get the feeling of something you need to factor in composition. So let's take your beautiful babe here and let's crop her. I'm gonna crop a little bit better. Now I'm gonna erase out everything I did here. And I'm just gonna paint in. I'm gonna take a warm, dark, reddish tone. That's not gonna work because I'm not doing it under the eyes. Normally, when I would start out, I would sort of I would have my line art all figured out. I don't normally just go in and paint. But one thing I want you to notice is like even in hers, there are still subtle value transitions here. Like if I put my hue layer back on, look, we go from really, really saturated, basically like pure white here. But then even in these light areas, we still have like these midtones here. And the dark areas are also very, very mid-tony, and then they gradually drop off into almost pure black down here. Whereas your transitions, we got your midtones, we go a little dark, but we're not going nearly as dark. So you don't get that same degree of form drop off. So if I push this value here, I don't even know what color I'm drawing with right now. But I'm just gonna push this value. I'm gonna color pick this. I'm gonna shove it down and over. This is probably gonna look really dumb because I'm just painting with value right now. It's probably gonna look incredibly muddy, but I just kind of want to get the value transition in here. You feel like that form now that we pushed the value a little bit? I wonder how it looks like. Yeah, it looks like muddy shit, but let me just. Let me add some hue to that. Chin's a little crooked here. I'm gonna crop the chin a little bit. I made it a little too long. Her lip here is a lot rounder. And I know you're not trying to do necessarily a study. This is just sort of like a reference. But if you want that sort of like youthful, sort of like full lip look, I think emulating something like that is gonna give you like this feels unnatural to me. It almost feels like bad lip filler, you know? So I'm gonna try and curve it, see what that does. After this, I'm gonna stop drawing on this just because I've been really hammering this for a little bit now. Just gonna get rid of. She looks like an alien now. That's not good. But that's because there's too much space here, I think. Why does she look like an alien? Hey, Avail, how you doing? How's it going? I've noticed there's a lot of orange and saturations in this also. You're lacking a lot of sort of like more saturated tones here around the eyes. The nose has a lot of saturation in it. Anyways, dude, this is sort of how I would approach it. I would really just go at it, look at the actual like composition, factor in. Okay, I'm gonna write this down for you. Look at the composition, determine how much of the composition is face versus how much is hair versus how much is background. Hair. Why is this not? Why is this not red? Ah, ignore this 3/4 back thing. BGE just stands for background. Ratio. I'm gonna put percentage here just as an understanding, so you know what the ratio is. Values. Value range. Composition. This goes into this, so this is gonna lead into that. What else did we say? Okay. I am curious to actually just push the values a little bit more. It's bad, dude. When you guys get me painting, I'm telling you, it's just I can't stop. Anyways. I'll leave you with that. For the hair, I would really say look at some reference. Also, another thing is this is one last thing, and this is a big one, okay? And I think this is also why it's not feeling the same. Okay, there's this concept in art where if you want a certain area to read better, what you could do is you could surround that area with contrasting things, and those contrasts can be either value or they could be color, okay? And in this particular case, there are a lot of like reddish, orangey. Look what I'm hovering my color picker here over the skin. We're hovering, our hues are very red, they're very orange, they're very yellowy. They're sort of really sitting in that area. And then the points where she wants you to look at are going to sit within that sort of hue range. And then the areas that she wants to contrast are going to be a completely opposing hue on the color wheel, okay? So we got a lot of reds in the face. So she's contrasting that by putting blue and yellow, well, blue, mostly blue, in the background. The background is blue, and what that does is it makes your brain go, oh, these are really contrasting. Therefore, it's very easy for me to distinguish the two areas to look at. Whereas your background is orange, which is also in the same hue range as the face, which makes it a little bit more complicated to understand sort of where you're supposed to look. So if I like color pick her thing, let's say, then I go to your drawing here, and then I just drop that. Look how much more your character pops. You know? And that's intentional. It's just so much easier to read your character now with just adding a blue background like that. And I recognize you're not trying to do exactly the same thing, and that's probably why you chose that, which is a good habit, by the way. You don't want to, like, plagiarize something. But when you try and sort of veer or try and avoid copying the reference too much, you might end up making mistakes that were actually intentional choices by the artist. And these are the things that you should be looking for when you're studying an artist, right? And I'll pull up another example that I pull up all the time. It's the Dave Raposa, ironically, Venom drawing, okay? Bro, my earbud is like killing my... It's very uncomfortable in my ear right now. Okay, let me pull this up. So what you'll notice is that Venom is incredibly blue. I didn't mean to... There we go. Venom here is incredibly blue, and to get him to read better, the background is incredibly orange. Where are orange and blue relative to each other on the color wheel? They're completely opposite ends. Okay? So if I was doing a purple drawing and I wanted a contrast, maybe I would use a green, okay? Who does that a lot? Can anybody think of an example? The guy who does JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. JoJo artwork. Dude, this is giving me a fantastic idea for a YouTube video, okay? Look at that. It's not in the top layer here, so it's covered by a bunch of shit. But look at that. What color contrast do we have here? We have purple and green, okay? Huh, weird. Maybe he does it again somewhere else. Sure does. I copied the wrong thing. I didn't mean to do that. Not what I wanted to do. Again, purple, green, pink. Actually, you know what? I should more say pink and green. Okay, pink and green also works. Pink and green. Purple and green, right? Orange. Orange over here, over top of a blue background. Orange over here, blue over here. You're starting to see what I'm saying? Contrast like this helps with readability. Like, these things, like, feel like they're just good color choices, but they're intentional color choices. These colors are contrasting, and so they help you read. Okay, so that's just something I want to point out. Now let me get rid of all this shit. Send you my feedback, my draw over, or whatever. Where's Venom at? There he is. So just be aware that when you're trying to avoid copying a reference, if you end up making changes to things that are the intentional contrast choices, you could end up just fucking up the whole composition. I hope that helps. I know it wasn't exactly what you wanted. I know you wanted to hear more about the hair, But I think there was a lot of valuable information there, and I'm gonna actually, with that, I'm gonna open my OneNote, and I'm gonna add a note for a short contrast and contrasting colors. Okay, that'll be a short idea. Thank you for that. I'm grateful, Mouse Unk. Good. Okay, and with that, no more revisions today. I'm gonna do my drawings, and I want to actually play around with some of my colors because I don't think they're working very well on my freaking girl here. We got a lot of blues, so I'm wondering what I could do for the like. I'm going to monochromatic, and right now I've got blue and I've got yellow, and I just purple and yellow, and I just don't think that works super well. I am gonna try and change the skirt to like green or something and see if I can get a better contrast there. But first, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate the folder, my Goyle folder, and I'm gonna work off of a brand new version of this because I kind of want to do some crazy shit to it. Okay? But I want to preserve all of my previous layers before. So this is going to add a shit ton of layers, but fuck it, we don't care. Content creator pilled brain? That's right. That's right. Some people just try to keep you down, you know? Some people like Boba, they don't want you to succeed. They don't want you to be the #1 artist on YouTube and Twitch. They don't respect the hustle. I swear to God, I just fucking duplicated this folder. Am I insane? Oops. Yeah, just posted it into the folder itself. Goyle copy. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's lock it because I don't want to do anything fucked up to that folder. I was drawing on this top layer here. Let's get rid of that. Okay. This is my... Where's my line layer? That's my line layer. It looks so creepy with other lines. You definitely have the makings to be the biggest art guy on Twitch, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't know about that. There's a lot of really good content creators. All right, we're reverting back to Humble Snack now, where I don't know if I've got the potential. I just don't know if I fit that niche. We'll see though. Only time will tell. I don't even know the biggest art streamer on Twitch is I can't remember her name. It's something like she's some VTuber chick. What is it? Twitch. I follow her. Let me look through my follows. It's not 58? No. He's not even he's pretty up there. He's probably like definitely top 50. Probably top 20, honestly. I'm trying to find this fucking chick, dude. PCAT? No. Bigger than PCAT. PCAT's definitely in the top though. The biggest art streamer on Twitch is ironically somebody that I've never fucking heard of. Dia Riku. Dia Riku is the largest Twitch streamer or largest art streamer on Twitch. She's a fantastic she is cracked at drawing. Like she is really fucking good. But she's the biggest Twitch streamer in the art category. It's spelled DyaRikku. She is leagues beyond my skill level, dude. Oops, I did not mean to make the whole thing purple. Oh my fucking god. Can you go back, please? I hit Control Z. There we go. Okay. I'm trying to identify my line layer. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Let's call it line. Oh, her? Yeah, her. She's probably, I think, the biggest on Twitch. for art. For the art category. And then PCAT is definitely like really high up there too. EO58 also really high up there. Bow, 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 bow. Okay. The loneliness. I don't know what layer I drew the skirt on. I can't stop. Kudzba, thank you for the follow. That reminds me of I don't know if that's the same word or whatever. You know that Polish video where the guy pulls up like the little fucking like groundhog thing, and he's like Bobid, Bobid Kudzba, Bobid. I love that video. It was a beaver. Was it a? Is that what? That was not a beaver, dude. I'm looking it up. Bober. Okay, the Bober Curva means like it's an insult. It's not because what? It's not a beaver. It's not a beaver. I said Bieber like Justin Bieber. It's not a beaver. I think he was just calling it a whore. I think he was calling it a beaver whore. Am I tripping? Maybe I'm wrong. No, it's separate. I'm a voice actor. Love the work, by the way. Shit. What'd that voice do, huh? Clock Strike 12 type voice actor? What are we talking about here? Huh? By the way, guys, that Clock Strike 12's version of that freaking like edgy meme or whatever is the best one. I don't care what anybody thinks. Bober Quit literally means beaver. Bobir. Bobir kurva. Holy fuck, it's a beaver. I don't think it was a beaver though. We have beavers in Canada. That's not what beavers look like. Was it a beaver? Do Canadian beavers just look different? Why is this thing's face so fucking wide? That shit is definitely not a beaver, dude. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna isolate the skirt here. If I flatten this, will it preserve the layers, like, or is it gonna fuck everything up? It's probably gonna fuck everything up, isn't it? The loneliness. I kind of sound like the teacher from My Hero Academia. I can send something if you'd like. Holy fuck, I flattened literally everything. I'm a dumbass. Uh, yeah, I mean, if you got a YouTube link, I guess I'll listen to it. I just wanted these. Just flatten these, dude. Don't flatten the full fucking thing. Because it's going to flatten the whole fucking thing again, isn't it? Yeah, alright. I can tell just by how much this shit's chugging. Chad, I hate that I draw in so many freaking layers, man. It's so hard to isolate what I want. I just want the dress, dude. Okay, I gotta find everything that has the dress on it. This layer has the dress on it. Okay, what about this one? Kind of, a little bit. A little bit. Definitely. Nope. Yep. Oh, fuck, I can't even do that. I was gonna select all of them, and then I was gonna basically just use like Control U to fuck with the hue. I can't do that. It's not gonna work. God, this pisses me off. Okay, how the hell do I change the color of the dress? Does anybody know an easy way to change the color of the dress here? Is there a way I could select this and apply it and like apply my changes to every layer? Is there a way to do that? She's not wearing a dress. Skirt, whatever, dude. I'm a guy, all right? I'm a heterosexual male. I don't know anything about this stuff. Let a brother try, all right? Okay, I'm Googling it. I'm about to pull up ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever. I'm gonna do I'm gonna commit black magic. Okay, I'm gonna start talking to AIs if I can't figure this out in like 20 seconds. Um, how to change hue on every layer in CSP. Put your layers into a folder. Command Control click that folder's icon in the layer palette to create a subselection out of its contents. And with that selection, make a new adjustment layer inside or outside of the folder. It doesn't matter. It will be created and make a mask from that selected pixel. Okay, thank you, Redditor. I will do that. That's not a bad idea, actually. Okay, so what he said was select the whole layer. Okay, select the whole layer. Create a new layer correction. How the fuck do I do that again? Uh, layer. Layer order. You guys can't really see what I'm looking at right now, but layer settings. Does anyone know how to add a correction layer? How the hell do I add a correction layer? How to add correction layer to clips in Clip Studio Paint. Adjustment layer. Layer menu, new correction layer, then choose your desired adjustment. I feel like I did that though. Layer menu. New correction layer. Hue, saturation, luminosity. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, chat. Oh, yeah, chat. That's the shit I'm talking about, chat. Chat, I just fucking came, dude. I just unlocked new technology. Okay, I have new tech now in Clip. Okay. Let me fuck with this. Also, Kuzma, I saw your link. I will check it out in 2 seconds. I'm committed to this. I think green is the move, guys. I think green's gonna be the move. Blue and red? I don't like that. I just kind of want to do it to the skirt, though, and see how that looks instead of the whole thing. It's not terrible as the whole thing, but I think she kind of looks like fucking Velma from Scooby-Doo. If I do the whole thing. Let me just select the skirt. Not Velma. The hot one. What the hell's her name? Is it Velma? It's not Velma. Yeah, it's Velma. Velma's the one with glasses? What's the freaking popular girl one? With the orange hair and the purple outfit, who's always like sucking Fred's dick or whatever. Daphne. That's what it is. See, I know my Scooby-Doo. By the way, I said that before I read your message, okay? So you didn't give me the answer. I knew it. I just want to be clear about that. Honestly, don't think I need to do all this because I locked the background layer, but I said it twice, buddy. Yeah, well, I wasn't. You really think I pay attention to chat that much, dude? Come on, you should know me better by now. Guys, you know what I really want? I really want Chinese food. A succulent Chinese meal right now would be pretty fucking sick, I'm not gonna lie. I'm very hungry. Okay, good enough. Alright, give me my stupid correction layer. Layer, new correction layer, hue. Ooh. Oh, oh. Do we want to go monochromatic and just make it like red? Or do we want to go green? Okay, now I think the issue is that's too green. I think the issue also is that the sort of focal area is being pulled away from the face. I'm gonna drop the value on like literally everything here. Layer. Yeah, go get it. You want me to go get a delicious? It would take. I'd be gone like an hour. You guys would not like that. I don't even know where to get Chinese food. In CSP, how do you delete parts of the selection like you just did? If you hold shift, you can add to the selection, and if you hold alt, you can remove from the selection. That's it. It's similar to like Word. Like if you want to like select multiple words or something in like Microsoft Word, can't you DoorDash it or something? I mean, I live in a very like central area. I would feel bad. I'm also incredibly frugal, so I don't want to do that. I'm probably just gonna go after stream. I'm gonna check when the nearest like mall closes, and I'm gonna trud over there, and I'm gonna fill my belly with some American style Chinese food. Okay. Maybe. What happens is I go between wanting that and then I'm like outside of my apartment and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to spend the money. I'm so cheap. Okay. Let's do this stupid correction layer and we're gonna do brightness and contrast. We'll reduce the brightness on this quite a bit. I didn't want to do it on the background though. Okay, there's gotta be a way to just select whatever. I'm just gonna do this fucking manually. I don't care. Oh, fucking kill me, dude. You know what? Why am I doing it this way? There's such an easier way to do this. Okay, I could just, I already have like a fucking clipping layer. Why am I doing this? Okay, there we go. And then I unselect the area I don't want. See, that was so much easier. Okay. I'm so aggressive today, guys. You know what it is? It's because I've been sleeping good. I think this is just my default state. Just like a fucking angry asshole. What do we got? Brightness and contrast. I'm going to push the contrast. I'm going to reduce the brightness. It's a little bit too much. I'm gonna get rid of the contrast a little bit. Okay. And now I'm gonna again select the skirt. Oh my god. Come on, you stupid thing. I thought sleeping good will result in a good mood. I am in a good mood. What you talking about, dude? I'm feeling awesome. Layer, new correction layer, hue. Let's shift the hue over. I think shifting the jacket to something closer to pink is also going to work better. How long's the stream? Probably 3 hours, just because it's Friday and I do gotta eat. So maybe another hour basically. I'm gonna switch this to pink. I think pink just works better. Having looked at that contrast example, I should probably apply some of my own medicine, you know? Whoops. Correction hue. I think I need to apply this to the hair as well. Do I just do the whole head? Do I dig that? Kind of do. I just kind of hate that I also selected the background. What do you guys think? You guys think blue works better, or you guys think the like pink? Ironically, the song is called Pink Blood, but the pink version works better. I think the pink one works better. I'm really, 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 really bad with colors, though, guys. Thoughts, anyone? One, if you think pink. Two, if you think blue. Ignore the background here. I'm going to deselect that if I do officially do this, but Y'all are gonna leave me hanging, huh? I see how it is. All right, that's fine. I guess I think I'm gonna go with pink. Okay, let me deselect this. And then once I'm settled on that, I'm gonna watch Kudzva's video. I don't know if they're still here, but this feels the most alone when no one replies after you ask questions. I know these motherfuckers. It's okay. I assume most people are just lurking. So I don't need everybody to be like super there for me, but when it comes to color choices, I genuinely am very bad at making instinctive color choices. It's I don't need I'm like I hope it's something I could train, but part of me feels like I have to literally just sort of start going really technical with my color choices just cuz if I rely on my ability to just sort of eyeball color, it's always going to look fucking weird. Choosing colors hard as fuck. Yeah, it is. It really is. I will say this year is also probably the first year ever that I've kind of really actually dabbled in color theory. I've never really sort of focused on it, and so I'm kind of learning as you guys are a little bit. I think I have a just having been drawing probably longer than most people in chat, I would assume. I've probably encountered a lot of people explaining color theory, so I probably have a stronger foundational understanding, but it is really something that I'm kind of just starting to pick up on. And I think I have to really rely on it, mostly because I'm just not good. Like I said, I'm not good at picking my colors. And so if I don't want to fuck them up, I have to kind of rely on the theory. You know what? Why did I do that? I should just do this again. And then deselect the skirt, which I had on this layer. Because I do want to change the skin as well. Whoa. It's nice to know my values are working at least. I feel like if it can look moderately okay in a bunch of different views or a bunch of different colors, your values are probably fine. I do kind of like the deadish greenish look that she has, though. What did I say I was gonna do? I'm gonna look at Kutsu's thing now. I'm not gonna play it on stream, but I'm curious. I'm gonna pause the music just so I can hear it. Actually, you know what? We will play it on stream.
For what felt like an eternity.
Do you guys hear it?
Well, fuck me sideways. I gasped when I read the email. $1,320. It quadrupled.
Yes. Okay, I think that's good enough. I don't know if I don't know if I hear it necessarily. Look, I'm gonna be real. I haven't watched My Hero Academia in a fucking bajillion years, so what the fuck is this audio? I don't know. It's part of a video. There's more to it. Okay, I did them kind of dirty, but I just don't know how to make the fucking shirt more appealing, dude. I don't know. The fuck did I just do? What did I just do? How do I undo this? Why is everything blue? God damn it. I don't know what the fuck I did. This is blue. Oh, it's not blue anymore. Does it just become blue if I click on it? That's so weird. Whatever. I just clicked on it because I want to erase some stuff. Do I like that? I think I like it better blue. We're gonna go purple and green. I think I like it better. I'm torn. Also, just I don't like how flat it is. You know. Let's add a multiply layer and see what we could do. I'm just basically experimenting with shit right now because I have no idea how to save this. Multiply. A little too shiny looking there. Yes, artwork looking good. By the way, hi. What up, Sade? How you doing? I'm just kind of going real dark with this. This might be too much. I just don't want it to, like, the back need to be as distracting. I think that's sort of my issue right now. I just don't know how to fix it. Oh, that's not gonna work. Yeah, I think a more saturated tone like this is a little bit nicer. IMO. And then I want to flesh out the sort of muscle here. Doing good. I just woke up. How are you? I'm good, dude. We're actually wrapping up stream in like a half hour. Just because it's a Friday, I gotta go. I gotta go out and eat, dude. I'm so hungry. I'm just right now trying to figure out how to treat these values here. I'm gonna blend these together. I'm gonna try and be very deliberate. And then this I think I want to blend down. Nostradamus redeemed through a jiggle. It'd be jiggling, dude. It'd be jiggling. How you doing, Nostradamus? Okay, that's starting to look like a knee. I'm good, dude. I'm good. I got some ideas on more Instagram reels, so we'll be doing that, I think. Not Instagram. I've never done an Instagram reel, but YouTube and TikTok or whatever the hell I've been doing, you know. I'm a full-on influencer now, guys. All right. The fun era's over. Now you guys get to hear me complain about not having good YouTube numbers too. It's not just Twitch. I'm just kidding. Kind of. Time to follow the TikToker thing, I think. Yes, sir. Yeah, maybe this looks a little fucked up for a knee. Found it. Triangles indeed. What are you talking about? Is that the eye one or whatever? You said you wanted to do the Twitch recap or whatever today. That's true. Oh my god, we should end stream with that. That's a good idea. Okay. I will do that actually. Good point. We'll do that. We'll start that in like 5 minutes. It's like too brown. That's too flat. Oops. Okay, let's jump into. Let me just save this real quick. Let's jump into the freaking recap. Where's my stupid little recap? Where's my stupid little recap? And by stupid, I mean not stupid, because it's all honoring you guys. Let me see what we got here. How do I find this shit again? Creator dashboard. Do I have to do something? How do I get this? My channel, my Twitch. Your recap is here. All right. Now, I'm not gonna share my browser, but I will screen share the Twitch recap. Or not screen share, but I will screen capture. So let's start out with the viewer one. So this is me as a viewer, okay? This has nothing to do with you guys. Boring, I know, but you know, whatever. Okay. Why is it white? Whatever. It's not important. These are my hours watched and my top categories watched. Check this out. New. I'm just gonna make a large ass canvas. These are my hours. This is how much I've watched Twitch. Honestly, not that much. The cat snack point. Yeah. So this is how many hours I've watched Twitch for. This is how many distinct days I've watched Twitch for. 338 makes sense because it's a combination of me watching my own stream whenever I'm live and a combination of me just popping in to other people's streams. So that's like most of the year, to be quite honest. Because like even when I'm not live, what I'm doing is I'm usually just lurking in somebody's stream. I'm usually lurking in one of my friends' streams, or one of my Twitch friends' streams, I should say. My top category is art. I'm in the top 10% of art viewers. I don't know when the fuck I ever watched Overwatch. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have genuinely no clue when the fuck I consumed Overwatch content. But I did, apparently. I don't know when, but I did. I'm in the top 10%, which is weird. I don't know if why I keep saying top 10% for all of these. That seems unlikely that I would be in the top 10% for Roblox. That strikes me as weird to me. Whatever. Anyway, so that's the high score. Raid hopping along, that's probably what it is. It's probably actually what it is. I also think I watched a lot of Oz when I first started. Ozstar, like at the start of this year. She kind of vanished a little bit, but I did watch her stream quite a bit, and that's probably where a lot of these come from. Okay, moving on. So that's my high score. Now we go to my favorite streamers. Ooh, this could piss people off. These are the top streams I've watched. Okay, and the amount of channel points I've earned. You could tell I do not watch Twitch that much. But these are my favorite streamers. So these are not that surprising, to be quite honest. These are not that surprising. We've got PK, which is number 1, who we're probably actually going to raid out to right after this. All right. We got PK. And then we have Glad, obviously. Glad, then Oz, then Ori, and then Ghoulie. My top emotes used are Poopy. I just really like those ones, okay? Sue me, whatever. I like Poopy. Channel points earned, kind of pathetic. I kind of, I thought I'd do better. 33K ain't a lot in a year, okay? That's like a few weeks for some of you guys, all right? So just know I'm honored. And we'll see very shortly which one of you guys is really fucking cranking numbers, dude. So that's my favorite streamer. I thought your favorite streamer is gonna be yourself. I don't think it. Technically, it probably is, just based on like time watching my own stream. But I don't think you can actually do that. So let me now go on to what's left in this recap. Oh, the amount of chats I've sent. The amount of chats I sent. Oh, the amount of subs I've gifted. Oh, I'm a cheap bastard, dude. I'm looking at this one. Okay, so this is the amount of subs I've sent, or not subs, chats I've sent, and which ones I've sent. And you can tell I love myself because I use my own emotes all the time. Okay, I have no shame at all. I've sent 7,433 chats. 50, like more than half of them are my own emotes. Okay, I don't even think I've used this one 4 times. Granted, my top emote I've used 14 times, so it's not like I'm cranking it out that much. I don't know when I've ever used this one or this one, to be quite honest. These ones make perfect sense to me. All right, moving on now to you guys. Let's see what we got for, because actually no shit. There's the gifted subs. Oh yeah, my top viewed clip also. This is an awesome clip, by the way. Here's my hype trains contributed to. We're just gonna restart up here. I've gifted 1 sub. I've gifted 1 sub. I've contributed to 2 hype trains, and I've made 6 clips all year. I'm a pathetic viewer, dude. I'm a pathetic, pathetic viewer. Some of you guys mogged me, and you've only been here like a few months. Damn, 1 sub. No, that sub's gifted, okay? I'm subscribed to literally like fucking. I'm subscribed to Glad, Ori, and I think someone else. I can't remember. I should probably check that so I'm not just unnecessarily spending money. I've got several subs, but gifted subs. I'm just not a big giver, you know? Okay, so that's it for my statistics. Actually, there's one more, actually, now that I realize. There's a lot more, actually. Shit. There's my top viewed clip, and I'm gonna share this link instead. How do I go to this clip? This is my top viewed clip. It's terrible that this is my top viewed clip. But this is a clip called Goonie Ghost, okay? I thought it was very well named. And it's because of what she's doing on screen. It just made me think of that. I put Goonie Ghost. Nah, your character, Cade's Gaming and stuff. What up, YouTube? We're going through my Twitch recap. We were actually, today we were painting, where the hell is she? We were painting this lady, and now we're doing my Twitch recap. So welcome in, dude. You're actually catching me at the end of stream. We're going through my Twitch recap, and then we're probably going to wrap up stream for today. Normally I would go a little longer, but that's usually on Saturday and Sunday. Fridays are a little bit shorter, Codes Gaming and stuff. But thank you for popping in. Who's this? That's Ghoulie Ghost. So she streamed quite often at the start of the year. And when I first started out, she started me and her started like a month or 2 apart, I think. And so we just sort of like became friends through Twitch. And I would show up in her chat a lot and vice versa. And I think she got kind of busy with life, so she hasn't streamed nearly as much. But she streams every now and then, and I'll pop in. But yeah. We used to share a fairly large community. We had a lot of crossover. A lot of my mods came from there and vice versa. So, you know, Dizzy was originally a Ghoulie viewer. Okay, going on now to the final statistic here. And this is... Oh no, that's it. That's literally it. Okay, so moving on to you guys. Now we're going to see who the top viewers are. Who the little people watching me all the time are. You little freaks out there, little creeps. I'm just kidding. I love you. Don't ever stop. So we got, these are the stream high scores, okay? These are, it's just more about my fucking stats, all right? I feel like this is a lot of autofellatio going on right now. I don't do it on purpose, but this is what the people wanted. So we've got 685 hours streamed last year, which seems low. I feel like it's over 1,000. Maybe that's just total. 685 hours streamed. How many days is that, guys? How many days is that streaming? I'm gonna do some math. Actually, my phone's not on me. Let me use my laptop. 685 divided by 24 is 28.5 days. That's basically the entire month of February dedicated to streaming as of last year. So almost like a 12th of my year last year was streaming. That's insane, dude. Cryptic Kitchen, why does it sound familiar? Oh, I know who you are, dude. You're the freaking Bone Lady. Hell yeah, dude. What up, dog? How you doing? Welcome in. You're catching us at, we're doing the Twitch recap. Today we were drawing this, we weren't drawing that, or that, or that. Where the fuck is it? We were drawing this lady, okay? And now we're doing our Twitch recap before we wrap up stream. I am the Bone Lady. What up, Bone Lady? How you doing? I liked your stream, by the way. I popped in. I've lurked a little bit. But get comfy, because right now we're just running through a little bit of... We're having a little bit of a... It feels like a little bit of a self-suck session. I'm not going to lie. It's just a lot of looking at my own statistics and being, like, amazed, okay? We are getting to the point where we talk about chatters, but right now there's going to be a lot of autofellatio going on, and it's not intentional, and it's all metaphorical, of course. I'm not that flexible. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. Zooming out. My top category, art, obviously. We went through that. What else did we have on here? We had total streams, 173. That's a lot of streams, dude. That's a lot of streams. I got a full-time job, all right? That's a lot of streaming. I'm kind of proud of that one. What else we got? We got distinct days streamed. I don't know what that means. I assume it just means like different days of the week. I don't really know what that means exactly. Total hours watched, 11,000 hours. You guys have watched me for 11,000 hours, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you, by the way. All right. My top stream. This is like for like a fraction of a second that this happened, but my top stream reached 146 viewers, okay? So that was my top stream last year. I don't think we definitely did not settle on 146 that day. I think we were hovering probably around 70, 80 that day. We got a lot of fat raids. And so we hit 146, which is crazy. Soon it'll be our turn to be fellatioed. Soon. Yeah, okay, dude. Keep dreaming. All right, moving on. What else? 128,000 chats received. 128,000 chats received. That's kind of crazy, dude. These are not going to be centered, by the way, because I'm terrible at screen capturing, but 128,000 chats. My top tags: digital art, animation, and VTuber. You know what's not on there, guys? And I want to make a very important note here, because this is important to me, that you all know what isn't one of my top tags, despite the fact that you all like to fucking remind me of it, okay? The furry tag is not on here. I just want you guys to know. There is no furry tag. Read 'em and weep, guys. Officially not a furry. So stop calling me a furry, alright? Because we're not one. We only LARP as one for the clout, alright? I don't know why those emotes got blocked. Okay. Anyways, moving on. What's next? 128,000 messages. That's fucking insane, dude. Top channel emotes. And then we're going to get on to the biggest fans. That's where we're going to reveal some big numbers, all right? I can't actually see the numbers, but, you know, just imagine they're good. Yeah, we are yappers indeed. Yes, sir. All right. Top channel emotes. Catsnack Yappa is up there. Catsnack Love. Cat Snack Snackies. Okay. Coming up with these names, I tried really... This one, I don't even know how the fuck I got it past the filter. Because Catsnack P, you would think would not really, you know, be approved by Twitch. But it was. It was. Twitch loves me. I'm their golden child, alright? I'm the next Hassan Piker. You can't ban me. You can't ban me. You can't stop me. I'm unstoppable. Alright? Catsnack P. Catsnack shit is coming up next, so stay tuned for next year. It's gonna get even browner and bigger. Alright, what's next? Now it's time. Drum roll, please. Can I get a drum roll? Actually, I actually do have... I have Spotify here. Drum roll. No, not drum and bass. Drum roll sound effect. Let me prepare the freaking screenshot before I play this drumroll sound effect so that we can show our top viewers. Now, keep in mind, a lot of you guys are new, and I think next year these numbers are going to look very different, okay? A lot of you guys are new. So these guys, some of these are obvious, some of these are less obvious. But we'll see, all right? We'll get into it. All right, let's drop a little drum roll. A little freaking drum roll. What do we got? Drum roll sound effect on Spotify. Hopefully this is what I want. Da-da! Okay, I didn't time it properly. Just pretend I did. Here we go. My biggest fans. These are not in any particular order. It doesn't show it to me in any particular order. Last year, it literally showed it to me with the stats, so I could tell how much of a no life somebody watched me for. But yeah. Oh, you should do bets. Ah, shit. Too late, dude. I blew it. My bad. My bad, dog. Okay, well, this is a drumroll playlist, which is really not what I wanted. But fuck. What were we just listening to? Let's put on the daily mix again. I don't know. Let's do this one. Putting on that weeb shit. Okay. But yeah, so we got Otter. No surprise there. We got Blue Raz, Spider Woman B. What up, Pat? How you doing, dog? You're catching me at the end of stream here. We're going through the friggin' the yearly recap. And right now we're going through the biggest fans, literally the grand finale. We got Otter. Thank you, Otter. We got Blue Raz, Spider Woman B. Thank you, Blue Raz, Spider Woman B. You just finished your own stream? Damn, you're a streamer? Shit. Let's get a little shout out for I mean, I'm gonna call you Pat, but Wise Art. I'm gonna give you a little shout out. Go follow Wise Art. Fantastic artist, dude. Wise Art. Wise R Art. Oh my god. Wise R Art. I'm gonna fuck that up. All the real fans here. That's true. That burp was nasty, dude. We got Blue Rat Spider Woman B. We got Boba Meyer. Boba Meyer was our #1 king last year. He was the #1 viewer last year. And I think he's the reigning king again this year, dude. I think Boba Meyer straight up this year has the highest numbers I've seen of any chatter so far. I gotta scroll up through the Discord and check out Boba's numbers. Boba's really high up there. What do we got? Why are they all spoiler? Do you not want me to show them? I'm gonna show them. Speak now or forever hold your peace, alright? Check this shit out. This is how much Boba's watched my ass. This guy gained 150,000 channel points this year. Okay? He's watched 567 hours. I've only streamed 685 hours. He's watched, like, probably over 80%, probably close to 90% of my streams. Like, 90% of every minute I've streamed, he's consumed. He's spent 120,000 points. The stats are not correct. I have 162k points. Well, I wonder if it carries over from last year. I don't even know if I wasn't even an affiliate last year, so that's crazy, dude. Chat sent 5,699. How does that make sense? You never talk. I don't understand how there's 5,699 chats. Boba getting glazed live. You enjoying this? Yeah, you better. You better, okay? Because this comes around once a year. But we got our #1 king, Boba Meyer. Somebody give him the crown. Boba Meyer. Oops, that's not how you draw a crown. That's kind of a crown. Whatever. Boba Meyer's the king, the top viewer this year. And then we also got KitKat. KitKat is kind of the sleeper. KitKat is not the one I expected on this list. I will be real. KitKat is the sleeper here. NFT also kind of a sleeper. Because my assumption with NFT is he shows up to get me to give him critiques and then he disappears. So he's here for about a minute every stream. But I don't know what this tracks. I don't know if it tracks total time watched or total streams like attended, you know? Victoria Nicole, I could see that. She was pretty active at the start of the year. Dizzy Dizzy's a pretty big regular. Down Bad Dave. We know Down Bad Dave for sure is here regularly. Confetti Yeti. She's always here, dude. Yeti's always somewhere. But that's it, dude. That's the stats for this year. And with that, any thoughts? Any ideas? Any feelings? Any emotions? How you guys feeling right now? Good? Bad? Bricked up? Soft? Tell me, I want to know. Thanks for the recognition. Thank you, Otter. Did you catch the part when I was talking about you? I didn't even know you were here. You guys are so quiet. You guys shy? It's okay. It's okay, because we're going to end stream anyways. So let's go right into... I'm going to right into PK. Because we haven't rated PK in... Oh, wait, he's not even live. I swear to God, he was live. Am I tripping? Maybe he doesn't stream on Fridays. Oh, no stream tonight. Okay, he's pulling a me and not streaming. 1:30 a.m., sue me. I can't. It's too expensive. All right, let's find somebody else to raid that we haven't raided in a while from our follow list. Do we owe anybody a raid here? Let me see. Ooh, Chuck Chan's live. This guy raids us all the time. We gotta raid this guy. Let's raid Chuck Chan. Raid Chuck_Chan. All right, guys. Thank you all for coming out. I will catch you guys tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time. I will see you there for the next stream. But that's it. Bye-bye.